My name is Abigail Rodriguez, and I'm doing an exercise for the Blazer Radio, and we're going around asking people what their biggest fear is. So, what's your first and last name?
Adrian Rodriguez.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is death because I'm afraid of leaving the world too early.
Can I have your first and last name, please?
Annette Rosales. Well, my biggest fear is, I guess, failure because my family has high expectations of me.
Prof. Romaro. Biggest fear is uncertainty. I won't really have like a basis for anything.
What's your first and last name?
Christian Mandujano.
What is your greatest fear?
Self-doubt.
Why?
Because the moment you start doubting yourself is the moment when everything falls apart.
So what's your name?
Emerald Phelps.
What's your greatest fear?
Not being successful in the future.
Why is that?
Because I don't want to end up like my mom.
So what's your name?
Marcus Orozco.
What's your greatest fear?
I'm afraid of dying.
Why is that?
Because I don't want to die like underwater, drowning, or like in a fire or anything like brutal. I want to die without pain or like in my sleep or something like that.
I'm Stephen Barton with Blazer Radio. What's your first and last name?
Francisco Ramirez.
All right. What's your worst fear?
Not meeting the standards of my parents.
What's your first and last name?
John Loop.
We're asking kids on campus today, what's their greatest fear?
Disappointing myself and my parents. Not living up to my own expectations, not living up to their expectations.
Lily Sanchez. My greatest fear right now, probably losing my parents. As you grow up and then, eventually you're not going to have them around anymore and you have to learn on your own and just not having them around, I guess.
What is your first and last name?
Marcus Tackett.
And what is your biggest fear?
Definitely drowning.
Why is that a fear of yours?
Just to be consumed by water and you can't breathe. I mean, something that's so second nature, and having that stripped away from you and knowing that there's no way to get out. That would definitely freak me out.
What is your first and last name?
Winston Coffey.
And what is your biggest fear?
To die without really leaving an effect on the world.
And why is that a fear of yours?
Because I don't think anybody should go through their whole life without trying to change somebody else's.
So, Karina, what is your biggest fear?
Drowning.
And what age did that start?
Ever since I was about 6 years old. I accidentally fell into the river near my house, and it created a fear of water and of drowning.
My biggest fear, I have diabetes, so my biggest fear would be going to sleep and never waking up.
Here with Farella, asking her what her biggest fear is.
My biggest fear is probably not finishing school. My parents raised me that way to where, you have to have a career. So it's my biggest fear to not have a career and end up disappointing them.
I'm Aaron Garcia for Blazer Radio, and I'm sitting here with
Diego Garcia.
What is your biggest fear?
Probably spiders.
Any specific reason why?
Just thinking about them being around me gives me goosebumps.
What kind of sounds do you think of when you hear spiders?
I don't know, just silence.
Silence?
Yeah, just you don't really hear them coming.
I'm sitting here with
Jennifer Mejia.
What is your biggest fear?
The ocean. I don't know, I'm just scared of it.
I'm sitting here today with
Catherine Anderson. Not meeting the goals I set for myself, I guess, is my biggest fear.